Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with a slime video. And not for the first time, because in my glorious, knowledge of what I'm doing with all of my data, I ran out of memory space on my computer during recording of the Jubilee videos, because I had to do a lot of them, right? So, I had to free up some space. And I did that by deleting some of the raw, unedited footage of stuff that I had, sitting here for quite a while that I just don't delete for some reason. Well, included in those raw files were my initial attempts of EX5 Tempered Edge. So, hooray, I'm an idiot. We knew that, though. So, we're here recording this again. All the missions are done, because they were done. So we're going to show off the two teams that I used, which really, there's only a few different teams, and most of them have the Fire 2.0 units. Like, EX2 was hard enough with just, Fire, Benimaru, and Hero. And then, the Fire 1.0 units, and then, the Dark team and such. EX3, 4, and 5 introduced this crit ceiling effect that Clayman does on turn 1. So, right here, decreases all targets' crit rate by 100%, which means that turn 1, you cannot have Violet on the front line going into turn 2. So you bring Benny in, or you have Benny up front, you orb change, and then you send him away, and you keep Violet in the back. That way you have the burn, you have the orb change, but your main DPS is not crit sealed for 7 goddamn turns. So that's the most important thing to note. And then, of course, he's got wanked out stats, which you can't see right here, but here you go. Almost 700,000 HP, almost 15k attack, and almost 14k defense. Which means that unless you're running the new Fire team that can do a shit ton of damage with the burn, have good fucking luck, right? He has 50% physical resistance down, which is good, but I only know of one team that can beat it without running Violet, and apparently it took him 10 goddamn hours of trying, so I'm sure none of you want to do that. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to show you the two teams I used to get all the missions, with all the attack skills, and all of the fire units, the physical units, and then the mission with the 2 4-star units. So let's go ahead, and I already pre-recorded this stuff, so let's go ahead and throw this up right here. So here is the first team. It's pretty standard. Toa, Shizu, Guy, Hero, Benimaru, Violet. Benimaru and Violet are in the back. Ideally, probably, you would put Benimaru up front. That way he's also not crit sealed. But again, no one's really giving crit here, so it doesn't really matter that he's in the back. It's very important that Violet is in the back, though, because we don't want her crit sealed for 7 turns. So, turn 1, we're just going to bring Benny in, and we're going to leave it as is with his orb change and the 6th send of greens. So, this team can kill him in 4 or 5 turns, and it's 100% possible. Any other team, you're not going to make it. I tried using the Dark 2.0 team, the full Dark 2.0 team with Hero on it. It don't work. A fully buffed Milim, my level 100 full awakened gear Milim, does about 250k on her ult. Which, sounds good, but he has 700,000 health. And the Dark team is not doing a lot of chip damage, so 250k for her, 150k with Shinsha, so that's 400,000 HP? Great, he still has 300,000 left. And you need to wait till turn 8 for you to get that max buff from Shinsha, of which turn 9 you die. So the Dark team just can't do it. Plus he's got minus 50% physical resistance, which means you're just better off bringing physical units here. But so now we're on turn 2. We brought Violet in. She's got 3 orbs. So now we're going to use Toa. We're going to use a whole bunch of buffs. So we've used the attack buff from Benimaru. We've swapped him out. We've brought Violet in. So now we can use her buffs and then also Hero's burn and his giveaway. So now we have an entire hand of buffed Violet. And she also has the Pierce buff from... No, actually she does not have the Pierce buff from Shizu. But she's still doing fantastic damage right here. And we have 3 stacks of burn, which gives us a 95,000k burn damage. You know, that awesome effect that doesn't work in Jubilee right now. So, we have a double ult for Violet. So we could send an ult here for funsies, but I don't think I end up doing that. Because I want to get the fire buff on her, and then I also want enough points to also use the ult buff from Guy. So we're going to swap her away and try and build up enough points to where we can use said ult buff. So we're at 47 points now, not quite to another Toa, and we're going to take some AoE damage there. But now we have a 5-handed Benimaru, which is great, because that'll give us a lot of points, and it'll give us another Toa meter, and it'll give us his ult, so it kind of works out. So we're not going to kill on turn 4 here. I think my original first run was a turn 4 kill. I just got really lucky with the turn 3 orbs. But, you know, this, I would not say this is difficult with this 2.0 team, but you need the 2.0 team, right? That's the thing, is that EX2 was hard enough without all the pieces, and then Violet and Shizu came out, and then we just shit on it, right? That's kind of how it normally works, though. EX5 is the first time we've ever received something this high, and there is pretty much no way on God's green earth that you're going to beat this without most of the Fire 2.0 team. And if you have, please let me know in the comments what team you used, because someone else is going to need it, because they don't have Fire 2.0 all the way done. But also realize that it probably took that person a long, long time to do. So, we've used Toa, we've used Guy's ult buff, we've swapped him out, we've brought everyone in, we have another full hand of Violet, so we've used Benimaru's ult first to lower defense. Violet comes in, 23, and the final orb does, what, 40-something? 48k, and then there's no burn, because we didn't have any burn on, which I actually didn't realize until he didn't die, because I expected him to die right there. But it's fine, because we have another Violet ult. So, bye-bye. Which actually didn't kill him, but Hero killed him. So, there you go. There's our first run with everyone alive, with, you know, all the attack skills used, because we've used, like, the Fire buff, the Pierce buff, her buff, Benimaru's attack buff, and all that. So, there's a good amount of the missions done. Everyone was physical as well. Everyone was fire. So let's now go ahead and do the double 4-star unit run. Alright, so here is the second team with double 4 stars. We brought Phobio. 1, because he has the crit resistance down 25%, which will help Violet just do more damage. And 2, he's also a green to orange orb changer, which works well with this team who runs on oranges. Almost like this team needs an orange orb changer and doesn't have it, because Benimaru changes to greens, because what intern thought of that smart idea? Anyways, probably it's because, you know, 6-handed orange might not be able to get you a protection meter turn 2 if you're not, you know, don't have all the protection characters. Maybe that's why, because oranges are pretty shit for anything else. Who knows? But pretty sure that intern was tossed off Bandai Namco's roof when Jubilee broke, so don't have to worry about that anymore. Now the new intern's taking the spot. Or the intern that thought of Benimaru's kit was already gone, and the new intern messed Jubilee up, and now he's gone too. Which means we need another intern name. So, in the comments below, put the name of the new intern that you would like us to blame all of Slime's problems on, and we'll adopt that. So anyways, let's start this up. So that's why we brought Phobio. He works, and then we've also got Hero, so there's our 2 4-star units. And it runs about the same, we just don't have the 50% ult buff, but we're at least not losing the crit resistance that Guy was also putting with his ult buff. So we're only really losing the 50% ult, which is significant, but our crits will still hit pretty hard with Violet. So, I mean, it works out the same exact way, because you're still keeping Violet in the back. You're still bringing Benimaru in. We're going to swap him out for Phobio because he's the weakest character on this team. He doesn't have Awakened gear. He's a natural 4-star unit. Like, at least Hero has his Awakened stuff, right? He can tank a few hits. So here, just a full hand of greens. It's easy peasy. And then we'll bring Violet in, and we'll run the same kind of thing we do as we did the last video. Segment. Yeah, that word. So 11,000 damage there. 6,000 burn. We actually get pretty lucky here with a 5-hand of oranges, which means that Phobio can shine. So, we have Toa, we have 79 points or something like that. So we can bring Phobio in for probably... Oh, we swap him out for Hero. Interesting. Alright, so we're going to use the Orb Change. And then we're also going to use his crit resistance down, because we're obviously going to use the crit buff for Violet here. And the crit resistance down lasts for 2 turns, which is great, because this whole team is based on, buffs that last multiple turns, which means that since Violet's buffs last for 3 turns for her crit, crit resistance lasts for 2, we can at least take advantage of that multiple times. And we should get her ult here anyways, so it works out. So here's a 6-hand of oranges. We didn't use any of the other buffs though, so these are not hitting quite as hard as they could, because I wanted to save it for the actual nuke turn, which is gonna happen here, because we didn't use Toa last turn, so we've got excess points. But I think I decided to go against that. I don't think I actually send the alts here. I think I swapped them out, because I kept thinking that we had another 55-point skill to use, and we didn't. But I wanted to actually make sure that we had burn on, multiple stacks of burn for the actual nuke. So one of them is leaving now, one of them is still active for at least another turn. Now we're going to use Toa, we're going to get the 6-hand, because that will give us another Toa, and it'll max out our points. So then next turn, we can nuke with Violet and Benimaru, and we can do decent damage there, because at least then they'll both have the fire buff and all the other stuff going on. So this works out. We'll also have Shizu's ult, which will then lower pierce resistance, which will just even more help out. But I did make one misplay, because I'm terrible at math, you guys know this. I didn't think we would have enough points to reuse Phobio's crit resistance, and I was sadly mistaken. So we could have done a little bit extra damage here, but, me no good at math, right? So we swap them out. We swap them out, and it's too late for me to realize when we're at the end that we actually had exactly 35 points left. So, sad days. Oh well. So now here's me trying to do math in my head, what can I use? Oh my gosh. What do I have points for? Oh, can we use that? So we're going to use that to put another stack of burn on. We at least change to Shizu, which isn't great. You'd want to change to Violet, but it doesn't work out like that, because we have to swap him away, because I don't care about his ult. So Violet comes in, Benimaru's going to come in for Phobio, sadly. So here's me trying once again to make sure. I want to have another stack of burn on, which is why I'm questioning. So I think I use Violet's skill instead here, because we have enough, right? We have 100 points, because I haven't used Toa yet, and we're sitting at 60. So here's 15, 15. So we still have 30 points left. So there's 2 stacks of burn. We'll use Toa again. And now we have 70 points, which means that we can use her burn. And what is half of 70? That's goddamn 35. Which means I could have used the crit resistance down. Whoops-a-daisies. And then here's me realizing my folly. 35 points? Oh. 35 points for Phobio. Oh well. So, we're going to send these ults. We're going to send Benimaru to lower defense first. We're going to send Shizu next to lower pierce resistance. And then we'll send Violet, and then we'll send the final Violet Orb for that 200%. And I think we call it good here. I don't think... Actually, we might not kill, but we do a crap ton of damage. I don't know if the burn kills. Actually, I think the burn kills. I'm lying. Ooh, 150,000, but no kill. But we have another Shizu ult, and we have 3 Violet Orbs and almost another ult for her. And he's going to ult. So in order to retain the whole no one dying, I'm going to swap both Benimaru and Shizu out, because they're pretty low. And these fire units can tank an ult, just not, at turn 9. So we're going to send the ult, and then these 3 Violet Orbs. That'll get us her ult next turn. Hero will do some sad damage, but, anything is possible. Anything helps. 10,000, it's not bad. So 7.9, and then some little burn, and then we have a Violet ult. And then we have a Shizu ult in the back as well. So now we're done. Now we're done with the fight. Now we're done with the EX5. Again, if you have beat this with any other team that is not Fire 2.0 heavy focused, please let me know in the comments, and I will try it out. Unless you tell me that it took you 24 hours of constant grinding. And then I will say, yeah, no thanks. But if you have, please let me know. So there's Shizu's ult again, and then Violet cleans up with 50k. So there we go. There's all the missions now done. So we've got all the physical, all the fire, all the attack skills, everyone alive, under 7 turns, whatever. 2 4-star units. So, yep, let me know in the comments what you guys think, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I will see you later.